YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Ladies and gentlemen, I remember someone asking me on one of our previous live streams, what should I prioritize? Self-defense or a generator if I don't own either? And I said a generator, because one of the things that we have to prep for first are those things that keep our biological state of being alive. And a generator can do that. I thought about that question when I saw this article. 4 million Texans without power amid grid collapse as the second storm nears. Now, many people look at preppers, not quite as much nowadays, but many people still look at preppers as weird people that they think are preparing for the end of the world. And it couldn't be any farther away from that, what preppers do. This is why we prepare, ladies and gentlemen, for instances like this. 4 million people in Texas, and I have family in Texas that are in the same boat. However, there are many people who instead of purchasing a generator, gasoline or solar, either or, went and took their monies and spent it on things that did not add value to their life. And if I had any message to put out for this video, it would be that. I've stated it before, and I'll state it again, ladies and gentlemen, because it's important that you understand that whenever you use whatever currency you have, no matter where you are in the world, whenever you buy something with that, make sure that you're purchasing something that will add value to your life. It's okay to have fun now and then, but make sure that you are concentrating on those things that you need in order to survive and in order to thrive once the crisis is over, because crises don't last forever. Some Texans have been living in their cars to stay warm as rolling blackouts have left millions without power. Collin County resident Clint Cash has had no power in North Texas for a couple of days. He said his house went dark on Sunday, which was when he decided to bundle up and sit in his parked car with the heater on full blast. "This is extremely dangerous," said Eric Berger, a forecaster with Houston's Space City Weather. As the rolling blackouts increase across Texas, we noted Monday evening internet searches for firewood exploded across the state. Internet searches for where to buy firewood exploded. And that's the graph, ladies and gentlemen, that shows how the search for where to buy firewood went up dramatically on the internet. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is why I like to do the videos where we reflect back on the Great Depression. It's because we human beings, and I'm not putting myself aside from this, but this is a fact, we human beings tend to forget history. And even in the face of people being told for days in advance that there was going to be a very cold front coming through, I believe it's called a polar vortex, is what they're calling it. I could be wrong. Even in the face of being warned, most people fail to prepare. This is an update as of 9:50 Eastern Time. Temperatures near zero this morning. GM decided to idle its massive Arlington assembly plant due to the weather problems for a second day. The facility sits on about 250 acres and employs approximately 5,500 people. There are no further updates on when the facility will reopen. Temperatures are expected to stay frigid until the end of the week. If this is causing so much problems, ladies and gentlemen, what's going to happen if this happens every year for longer? All of the disturbances that we're going to have within our infrastructure. I'm not sure if you know, but pipes that have water and waste and a lot of the other utilities that we use, gas, in southern states, I believe they're not as insulated or buried as deep as in northern states, because when they built these infrastructures, they weren't thinking that it would ever get this cold. And once again, I go back to We humans are terrible at listening to what history has to teach us. And this is a look at the map of the United States, or mainly where the cold is affecting the parts of the United States. So you can take a look at those temperatures, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, look at that. 8 degrees, 7 degrees, -2 or 3 degrees in some places. Solar minimum much? Because that's what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Have you noticed that we're having more drastic weather events as the years go on? Where in some places it's extra warm and in some places it's extra cold. And now they're thinking about spraying the atmosphere with solar array blocking agents so that less solar heat will get into our Earth. Imagine that, ladies and gentlemen, how things will look like if they succeed at doing that. They're showing this map here that says that at the moment, this map shows that there are about 4.3 million people in Texas that are without power. The Texas Power Grid Operator, ERCOT, which represents 90% of the state's electric load, tweeted Tuesday morning that generators to return, renewable output to increase equals increased customer restoration. Bloomberg published a headline that said the grid operator expects all power to be back on Tuesday evening. It's a function of how many generations we were able to get back online, especially gas and coal. Dan Woodfin, a senior director for ERCOT, said in an interview, "It could be as early as afternoon today, but then it is also possible it could go into the evening hours tonight." Something else I wanted to get into, ladies and gentlemen, while reading this article. How in the world will 100% green energy be able to handle the load of electricity that we need at times like this? I'm all for green energy. You all know that I love solar generators. I have what, a dozen solar panels, and I'm planning on getting more. I'm all for it. However, I know that in order to power my home with just solar, I would probably have to get 5 to 6 times more solar panels than what I have now. And currently, we are not abusive with our energy. Whenever we don't need to use electricity in our home, we don't use it. I.e., right now, I am sitting in a room that is completely dark, no lights on except for my computer screen. And we would still need about 5 or 6 times more solar panels than what I have now in order to power our home. I do not feel that we have the manufacturing capacity in order to do that. And if we did, it would still take decades upon decades to get all of the solar panels that we would need in order to power everything at 100%. And then we're not taking into consideration the maintenance of those solar panels or wind turbines. I read an article a few days ago that in Germany they had to switch back over to coal or something like that because all of their solar panels were iced over and lost all efficiency. So ladies and gentlemen, that's a question that I would have for someone who's an advocate of 100% green energy. I just don't think that we would be able to do this with 100% green energy. And I'll leave it off with this, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that maybe are still on the fence on whether you should start getting prepared. This is a tweet by Chief Acevedo. "I am saddened to report a male was found deceased in a median in the 3500 block of Spur 527 near Bagby Street today. A passerby found the male unresponsive and called police. While we suspect the cause of death to be related to the exposure to extreme low temperatures, the official cause of death is still pending an autopsy. We are expecting below freezing temperatures again tonight. Please remember to check on those most vulnerable during this weather event. Warming centers are open to those who need them." Ladies and gentlemen, don't be one of those people that need them. Be prepared ahead of time. Use this event right here that is still ongoing as a way to learn what you can do in the future to prepare better. whether or not you live in Texas. Having said that, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all have a great rest of your day and your week as well. Remember to be good to each other. When good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. If we all did this, the world would be a better place, and you know that it will be a better place. Many blessings to all of you and your families. This is Alaska Prepper. I'm out.